Exotic Grunt Gaming here with our weekly discussion podcast. And to start it off, we are going to be talking about two things here. First, trailers that made us buy a game that were actually better than the game itself. If you want to kick us off.
I'm going to start us off, and my choice is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty is obviously a very successful franchise. A lot of people love the game. And I was very excited when the trailer for Modern Warfare 2 came out. Had the Eminem song over the trailer. It was great. Yeah, got me super excited. And at first, I really liked Modern Warfare 2. Played it a lot. Beat the campaign the first day. Played the multiplayer, for a month or two. But Modern Warfare 2 is also, I feel, where I started to hate the Call of Duty formula. It felt very same as the first Modern Warfare and as World of War. And then it became too much, you have these perks, but then you have these pro perks. You have, then you can dual wield guns and everything. And I just feel like it stepped away from what Modern Warfare 1 and World of War brought to the table. Yeah. I feel like it stepped away too far from it. It became too much of this class-based game. And I didn't like it that much. So, I was super excited to play it, but I ended up hating that game, and that's probably the reason why I haven't played a Call of Duty since.
Yeah. For mine, I would have to say would be Civilization Beyond Earth. I was super excited for that because you and I had originally in high school gotten into Civ 5 when that came out, and it was a phenomenal game. I mean, it was just packed full with content and layers of complexity that made each game so different and unique. And then I remember hearing about how Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth was coming out and the trailer, and it looked awesome because you were going to an alien planet. There were going to be alien races, and it's like a whole new setting, and it offers new approaches to the game, new mechanics and whatnot. And it does offer some new mechanics, and I feel as though the game did not receive as much attention from the developers as it should have, like Civ 5 did, because the mechanics were there, but they were very there weren't a lot of them, and
I also feel like they were very shallow.
They're very shallow. There wasn't a lot of impact that they had, and even if they did have impact, it was very a predetermined game. So each game didn't have necessarily as much strategy as opposed to just really knowing how the game plays. Mm-hmm. They had some cool techniques, but a lot of people considered it kind of just either like an add-on to Civ 5 or like a rehash or like a mod or something like that. Yeah. And that's the feeling you get from that game, comparing now to what people consider the true predecessor to Civ 5 being Civilization 6, which is a full pack game with actual new features, but still some of the same things that worked in Civ 5, which Civ Beyond Earth did not include the things that did work in Civ 5, and it tried to do too much of a different game to the point where they weren't actually able to make it as big a game because they had to recreate too much, and the formula didn't work. So for me, that would be my game.
I would give 1 point to Civ Beyond Earth, that I thought the way they handled spies and what spies could do was actually very well done. Yeah. I actually enjoyed that aspect of the game. I agree with everything else you say, and it was sort of a letdown for me. Yeah. The other thing I didn't like is you pick this affinity, right? Like this organic supremacy, so just purely human, or a kind of
there was
mixed supremacy.
There's supremacy, and then there's it would be what you would see autonomy as, but it was just militaristic.
Yeah. And really, those didn't change anything, and I think that was my biggest disappointment. You had the same units pretty much no matter what, same strengths. They had a little different bonus there, but there was really no drastic change from picking either one.
And exactly, and not having that incentive to go with one kind of it makes it worse. And the starting civilizations, or what they called alliances, there were
eight, something like that.
Yeah, which is nowhere near in comparison to what you get out of a true Civ game in the actual Civ lineage, where you get.
Civ 6 has 20 or 19.
20. Civ 5, I even think, had more than that, right?
Civ 5 had a lot more.
Yeah, so, it just didn't have the complexity that all Civ games typically have and that it needed. But moving on, We're going to go into games that were fun, but that we just have not ended up finishing yet because there are so many great games out in the world. And so these are great games, definitely ones that are on our radar to finish and to keep playing, but we just haven't come across them. And yeah.
Mine, mine is XCOM 2. XCOM 2 is a great game. Enjoyed playing it a lot. I think the first 5 days I played it pretty religiously, like 5 hours a day at least, and that was, in the middle of school and football. So I devoted time to it, but then it just kind of fell by the wayside because I just ended up playing other things, got busy, and I never ended up going back and finishing my game. And it's definitely a game that I want to finish because I think it built on everything the original XCOM brought and better. I like the idea that now instead of like you're a real organization, you're kind of the guerrilla resistance. I thought the tech tree was cool. I thought everything about the game was fun. It's just never finished it just because I never had that time to put back into it.
Yeah. That's a game I haven't even tried yet, but one that is on my radar to try someday because I've heard a lot of good things about it. The game for me, it's a tough pick. There's two that I haven't finished playing that I really want to, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Batman Arkham Knight. I've played quite a bit of it and I've enjoyed every minute of it, and it's a phenomenal game, and the progression system is great, and all the different tech gadgets that you can unlock through just playing more. I mean, it makes it feel like a really enjoyable experience and a progressive experience, which I find important in games. And I just haven't played. I don't know why. I truly do not have a reason why. It's not that the game's boring. It's not that I've lost interest in it. I've been playing other games and stuff like that. So
yeah. Batman Arkham Knight is a great game. It's
so
probably one of my top 5.
So I have to finish it. But
it's a great game.
Yeah, but other than that, stay tuned. Our next video is going to be a video on
our review on Recore. I'll be reviewing it. Fun game. You'll find out more in my review.
Yeah, and then after that, we're doing a video on our favorite games of all time. And so that's going to take some digging deep inside ourselves to figure out what that actually is, because there's so many of them. But until next time, that's it.